Yeah, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the POLITY, and we are here taking a look at the planned nationwide protest that has created so much tension in the country. My name is Maucauley, Hunohashi, and joining me is no other person than Comrade Duke Alamboye.
Alamboye.
Yeah. Duke Alamboye is the national president of National Youth Organization.
Nigerian
Youth Organization. Yeah. National president, Nigerian Youth Organization.
NYO.
NYO. Yeah. Duke, there is so much tension in the country. Let me ask you this question. But before we get there, we've just lost a nationalist. How did you receive the untimely death of Chief Emmanuel?
Yeah. It came as a shocker. And a great man that has contributed. You saw his profile. I was listening when you were reading his profile. A man that has contributed so much to the development of Nigeria, employment, self-sufficiency. A man that have stood for the entity called Nigeria. A man that have held the Igbo nation, the Igbo people, to the level of unity they have today. A fantastic man, an entrepreneur, a father to hold on to. Well, who can we blame? He has done his best for the nation.
Yes.
I want to join on behalf of the Nigerian Youth Organization. I want to join our colleagues, the Ohaneze Youth Council, youth group. We want to join them in this cause to bear the loss. Yeah. We pray that God Almighty will replace him abundantly. We will be joining them during the funeral rites. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen. I say amen to that. Well, like you said, late Chief Emmanuel Nwanyawu was one of the nationalists who worked relentlessly to hold together the fabric of this nation to remain indivisible. But we have lost him right in the midst of tension being created by, for a planned nationwide protest. When this idea was first mooted, I know you are leading a very huge demographic in this country, the youth, and they are the ones that want to come out for this demonstration. How did you receive the news? Were you even part of the planners? Because the planners are faceless, so to speak. There are a few that have come out, like Showeri, a one-time presidential candidate.
Okay.
But to a very large extent, there's no direct leadership or concrete leadership, that you can point out to say these are the organizers. How did you receive the news?
Well, it's not a news to receive. It's a news that is at hand. What I mean by that is someone will definitely start a process. Yeah. And most importantly, what we look at is the content of the protest. Content of the process, rather. When a statement word is placed between us, the Nigerian youth organizations are not faceless. Let us put it straight. We get sad when certain people want to make use of the demography, the youth demography, and say that we are faceless. We are not faceless.
Okay.
So if you want to go for protest, if we want to go for protest, we should be capable enough to own the protest. So there is rather a call for national interest. And that call for national interest, we cannot come out and begin to claim that we are faceless. If you say we are faceless, if indeed the rally for the protest for 1st of August comes, are we going to have spirits do the rally?
No.
People will definitely do the rally, and they will lead the rally. So in essence, what I'm saying is that it's not a faceless move.
Okay.
But we're looking at the methods and the shape at which this protest is being announced or being carried out. So that is where in some quarters, some people will say they are not aware. Some people will say they are not the initiators. This protest that is being speculated or is being talked about is not faceless. Because if we look at the content of the protest, it involves every Nigerian. For this protest that is on ground, every Nigerian is a youth.
It's a youth.
So to answer your question, first of all, the protest is not faceless. The initiators are not faceless.
Okay.
Nigerian youths are involved.
Okay, before we go into that detail, let me ask you about the trend, the macroeconomic policy of this government in the last 1 year. You and I know that before they took over, one of the things or the factors that triggered this inflation in the country is the removal of subsidy and the floating of the naira, in addition to some of the macroeconomic policies of the present government. Now, give us a scenario of how the market is, because you also go to market. You live in Nigeria. You also feed, not one mouth, but so give us an idea.
So, okay, the removal of subsidy, I've always emphasized in so many forums I find myself, is a removal of burden on leadership, Nigerian leadership. Nobody, we're still waiting for the people that come and say that government were actually paid physical cash for subsidy. The payment on subsidy is a huge debt on government. It's, for instance, you owe somebody 10 naira in 2010. In 2011, you struggle to pay the 10 naira, maybe not even all. It is accrued again in 2012. You are still owing 2011 debt. So subsidy, as it were then, was a huge burden, a rolling debt in government's budget, such that it disenabled government to carry out even tangible projects they're supposed to do within the political season, 4 years. Now, a clear indicator or a clear explanation to this is when subsidy removal, when this administration came to say they are removing subsidy, it's not as if there will be excess money in circulation. What they've only succeeded in doing is they've removed that burden of being indebted.
Okay.
Because the persons that they are owing are factor players in the economy. They are in charge of distribution of, in fact, they are players in the oil and gas sector. Let me put it generally speaking. So you don't owe those people and expect the economy to revolve properly. So the bold step the present government took was to remove burden. I don't even call it subsidy. Yes, subsidy, the initiative of subsidy was to actually assist domestic purchase of fuel and kerosene, diesel.
Okay.
Since we are producers, let it be that government subsidize for us to have it as against international transaction. But in time past, we all know that it has been abused. The persons, the actors in that sector had held this country to ransom, such that billions of dollars, when the budget of the country comes out, billions of dollars are used to service their debt. So it's not as if this government is going to have ready-made money on the removal of fuel subsidy. They've just removed a burden that we are not talking about today again. It will only give a space for progression. It will only give a space for direction. If this government is having 10 billion today, they are no more talking about using 6, 5, or 2 or 3, as the case may be, $1 billion to service subsidy. That is what it has done. Now, the only issue is that the government did not take its time to lay out palliatives. What are the immediate, middle, and long-term palliatives to cushion the effect of those removal? That was the only thing that was missing. But if I may also check the mindset of the government, perhaps they've also checked the line of let's remove it and let's work on the economy, which to me was the reverse. The main thing would have been they fix the economy to a certain level, remove the subsidy so that the economy can have its balance. So whatever, it is correct that whatever we're going through today, 80 to 70% of what we're going through today, as the name implies, bad governance, sufferings, inflation, is attributed to that removal. I agree completely. But again, it has caused lots of pains to the common man of this country. Today, everything you talk about, services and commodities, are in the increase. Whether I want to call it artificial or what I want to call it, whatever name you want to give to it, Nigerians are really, really, really suffering. The prices of goods and services are unbearable. People at the rural area could hardly afford, as I speak to you, a 1 square meal. We know calls we receive. We are not talking because we want to talk. We are talking because we have the statistics, because we are relating, because we know our demographic cuts down to the rural areas. Like you also said, we go to markets and we are involved. Are we talking of only commodity? The services, people cannot take their children. People cannot afford even medical services because everything is encompassed to this same issue. So I think, even though I want to say we are seeing the handiwork of the government, they are also involved. Today, one spectacular thing, and one thing I like is that we have a government that is listening and that is taking action as they listen. They are progressing with the issues, trying to provide solutions. So in every of these things you're going to mention, I can see the government, mostly the federal government, mostly the president or the presidency, attempting to solving one of these problems or the other at any time. We've not seen any case, any of the issues arising from autonomy, local government autonomy, down to insecurity, down to goods and services production and all that. We are seeing the works of government in it. But the $1 million question is that, has it come to the time Nigerians can feel these solutions they are rendering?
Now, as the president of the country, I know that the buck stops at his table, and he bears the blame for anything good or anything bad with regards to, the provisions of expectations of good governance for Nigerians.
Yes.
But there's always, accusing fingers pointing at Mr. President. What about the subnationals? Nigerians don't seem to even bother about state governors, with regards to their contribution to cushioning the effect of it. Because I remember Mr. President has, in his effort to cushion the hardship being faced by Nigerians, has doled out stimulus packages. He has donated, he has released like 10 billion naira to each state government for them to float CNGs.
Thank you.
And then 20 trucks of
thank you.
Of grains. Can you respond to that?
Thank you. So I was coming to that.
Okay.
You see, we've concentrated so much.
Sorry.
Basically,
before we continue, I just want to remind our viewers that my producer is going to display the telephone line on the screen so that you can also call. Well, it's right there. Please call in so that you can join the conversation by making it conversational. Go ahead.
Now,
comrade.
why I'm taking my time to discuss all of this is the core reason for protest. We must get the facts.
Okay, we have a caller.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY, our first caller today.
Yeah, this is Mr. Gideon calling from Lagos.
Gideon, you are a regular caller. We appreciate. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. You see, this our government, they are trying to shine away from the truth. They say they don't know people that are making this planet this protest. The people are there, they know them. They are the same people that voted them into power. They are the highest content voters, which are the youth. The youth are not faceless. Let them get it straight. The youth of Nigeria are not faceless. And this government, they fail to realize one thing. Ever since we have this issue of protest on the ground, we are expecting the president to come out on nationwide broadcast and address the youth of the nation, not to be calling the obas, the governors, who have already grown fat over the Nigerian economy. They don't know the cry of the youth. Now, the problem of the country now is for the government to recognize the youth. They are not doing anything about the youth. The hunger is not the only hunger. It's because the last problem we have now is the food. The food on the table. We have other problems before the hunger strike. which they fail to address.
Okay.
So many. And now, you see the president having a meeting with the governors, the ministers. But the governors and the ministers, instead of them to go to their state and address the situation, they are not doing that.
Yeah, he's throwing the same.
They are not doing it. Instead, they are coming to counter the protest. Some state government, they are coming out to say they are doing this oral of sword of oral coming out the day of protest. They themselves, they are trying to create anarchy on the day of that protest. And some states are also coming out to have anti-protest.
Okay, thank you, Gideon.
By organizing, they are creating anarchy. It's not. They should address the situation. Like the governor of Imo State coming out that they don't know the problem of youth. They don't know what they are crying for. People that are collecting allowances for newspaper allowance, they don't read newspaper. Even people in the assembly, they are collecting newspaper allowance. That means they don't listen to what is happening in the country. They say they don't know what the youth are requesting for. Everybody knows. They only try to shy away from the truth.
Okay. Thank you.
It's very wrong.
Thank you, Gideon, for your contribution. I think there's a concurrence with.
Yes, I think I want to separate from what Gideon have said. I want to separate the issues from protest. Addressing the issues.
The issues.
Yes, may not necessarily mean for a protest. We are discussing the issues. I thought that we'll discuss the issues.
We're discussing
the fundamental issues. Then we'll now see if it relatively.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what we're doing here.
Yes, get to a protest. So as Gideon has expressed, these are the fundamental issues. We keep our focus so much on the federal government. But we also know that the federal government have done a lot down the state level.
Yes.
Are we holding our state chairman? Our state governors, our local government chairman, are we holding them accountable? A lot has been done for restoring youth this thing in the states, or citizen empowerment in the states. Are we holding them responsible? These issues, if we want to discuss them, they are glaringly correct and true. But the question is, at the time that we are all going through all of these problems in the country, is a protest the solution? Are there no other ways we could engage the Nigerian government? When I say Nigerian government here, I'm implying the federal government, state government, and local government chairmen.
Okay.
Because these are the people that have absolute control of state resources. So what are we going to do to bringing them to book?
Okay.
We are going to let's critically separate.
We have a caller.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon. This is the POLITY. You're welcome. Good afternoon. We can hear you. You are not audible enough.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We can hear you now loud and clear. Your name, please. Where are you calling from?
My name is Shegun. I'm calling from Ogun State.
Go ahead, Shegun, with your contribution.
Yeah, I want to say something about what the guest is trying to bring forward.
Go ahead.
Now let's look at the federal government. All the policies that is affecting the Nigerians, the youth, are made by the federal government, not the state government. Now look at the federal government again. The palliatives they are bringing out that are supposed to get to the youth are sent to the state government to give to the party members. What about the youth in the states, in the local governments? Only the party members. And you are saying we should hold the state government responsible for all this we are experiencing. No, it's not done. We have to first of all call on the owner of the policy first. And you made the policy, you push out what you think at least the youth can get from the government to at least alleviate the problems the policy will bring about. Now you are giving to the state government, not to the youth directly. It's wrong.
Okay,
so that the whole problem will be resolved immediately. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shogun. Go ahead.
Okay, it's quite diverse.
It's quite diverse.
Yeah, I also want to agree with him. It's quite diverse. Okay, when palliatives or when these contributions, this stimulus gets to the state government, what do they actually do with it? Do they spread it around the entire youth in the states? Do they use it to hinder other youths that do not believe in their governance? These are all encompassing issues. We can't. I say if we want to talk about these issues from now till tomorrow, we unending.
It's inexhaustible.
It's inexhaustible. But my problem is going into a protest.
Okay, we have a caller.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. This is your show on KAFTAN Television from Abuja. Go ahead, sir. It's your show.
One, this protest, you see, this government is coming out with a policy that is coming out at the wrong time. See, you don't feed people. They say, teach me how to fish, not you feeding me with fish. All this money they are wasting to start sharing palliative. Let the government engage themselves in creating jobs. How do you create jobs? You can organize a mechanized farming. Import tractors. You will see graduates coming, engaging themselves to farming.
Okay.
Let them organize, not by, would they continue feeding the citizens of the state every 2 weeks when they are giving them 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of beans, 1 cup of gari? Will they be feeding them every week? They are wasting the Nigeria resources. Let them create jobs. Farming, people are crying hunger. Let them go into farming. Mechanized farming.
Okay, thank you.
And moreover, another thing, this protest, the youth, if they need to go for this protest, to protect themselves, let them go on boxer. Let them be naked. For the women, let them naked and do their protest. So that we know that they are not carrying sticks.
Thank you, Gideon.
Let them be naked on the street.
No, that would be so gory. There will be gory sights and.
Okay, I think he has made his contribution.
He has made his contribution.
Yes. You know, are we?
With the issues, we're talking about issues.
Yeah, the issues. So we are in a precarious time.
Yeah, we are.
We are looking for solution. Not only the youths,
not only
even the government. As of today, even the governments, they are seriously in search of solution. The thing I think is missing is a connection. One of the callers observed that the youth wants to carry out a rally.
That's Shogun from Ogun State.
The youth wants to carry out a rally. And people are saying that they are faceless. How are Nigerian youth faceless? We have youth leaders.
No, you said they are not faceless. But let's take this call before I ask you the question about the decision by House of Reps members to slash their salary by 50%. Maybe after this caller. Hello, good afternoon. You know, as part of their concern for the hardship being faced by Nigerians, the House of Representatives asked a segment of the government, lawmakers decided to slash their salary, and it was a consensus by 50%.
This is what I'm saying. This is my emphasis. When you say federal government, they are encompassing.
Yes.
And at all strata, you look at the executive, you look at the legislators, they are all putting their heads together to see how we can bring ourselves out of this mess. We as youths and mothers and fathers, citizens of the country,
because everybody feels
the hardship is telling on us. And don't forget, they are also inclusive.
They are inclusive. Let's take this caller. Good afternoon. This is your show from KAFTAN Television Studios in Abuja. Hello, go ahead, sir. Oma. We've lost the caller. Hello? Good afternoon. Go ahead. So everybody feels the pinch.
Yes, they are all inclusive. Don't forget, these people we're talking about, they also receive thousands of calls per day.
Yeah.
They are also extending helping hands back home.
From their constituents.
Back home.
Yes.
They have to take care of their constituents. So it's all hands on deck.
Okay.
So
let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is John from Benue.
John from Benue, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, the planned protest is not something that actually need to raise tension or reaction from any part of the government or its arm.
But it has raised tension already.
Yeah, the reason why it's raising tension is because the government refused to do what is right. Okay? Now, this government came to power since over a year now, and they promised that they are going to revitalize the refinery. Yeah. The whole thing that causes hardship in this country is the removal of subsidy.
Yes.
Okay? Why will you stop buying yam if you have not grown yam? You understand? Automatically you will die of hunger before the next yam will grow. And that is why Nigerians are dying now. If the refineries are led to work, I'm sure the price of fuel would have come down from this 800 or 600 to a variable amount that the transportation and other costs of a livelihood would have been reduced. Okay, look at what the Dangote said recently. That the cabal within and outside the country are frustrating him to produce oil. So anybody hearing everything that is going around the country, there is a lot of insincerity. They are buying jeeps, buying the plane, buying yachts, buying everything. And the poor masses are dying. See, sir, where I live in Maucauley, there is no day nobody, people do not knock on my gate to ask for a meal. A meal. It's hard. It's hard for everybody. Let us not play politics around this. If the planned protest can be stopped, fine. But let government come out genuinely and tackle this fuel subsidy.
Thank you.
And it will go a long way reducing hardship across the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're on a line of thoughts.
Yes. So they are all involved.
They are all involved.
And the hardship is also telling on them every day. So that is why the solution is not also even for the youth alone. It's for the entire country. The entity called Nigeria must be saved. And this is a concern for every Nigerian. If we want to talk about these issues, I still repeat, we will not leave. Okay. There is hardship everywhere.
Many people loaded the decision by House of Reps members to slash the salary by 50%.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Every of the contestants of 2023 election, presidential candidates, talked about removal of subsidy.
Yes.
Nobody anticipated that if you remove subsidy, this effect will come.
Okay, let me take this caller. We will continue with that.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Your name, please.
Hello, my name is Shehu Mohammed. I'm calling from Niger State.
Go ahead, Shehu.
The problem we are facing these days is a collective problem. It's all over the world. But the problem, the people that cause all those problems is governors. Look, above they are bringing something and till down, local governments are not getting anything. Some states, instead of them to give, they pay the workers all the areas that they are owing, they refuse to pay. And local governments are releasing more funds to the state. Well, look at it. People are hungry. That is only the issue we are facing.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's not going to be the problem is not going to be only the federal, both state governors and also those members and so they are the problem.
Thank you, Shehu from Niger State. Shehu was talking along the same line with you. Go ahead, comrade.
Okay, so fuel subsidy has been removed. I want to agree with the guy that called from Benue too. And one of our plea is the president has come up to say that time should be given. And every reasonable person should know that when you want to cry or when you're crying and your father comes up to say, beat his chest to say, please give me time, It means that he has acknowledged the problem. It means that he's aware that he must prefer solution. Am I correct?
Yeah.
It means that if he does not take any action, his children may rise against him. The president, in hearing all of this, had come up to say that Nigerians should give him one more time. I'm not the mouthpiece of the government, but like I told you, we've seen gradually the decisions, the policies, the judgments that have been rolling out.
Okay, hold on, thoughts there, comrade. Let's take this caller. Hello, good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Usman, calling from Yobe.
Okay, Usman, go ahead, please, with your contribution.
Yes, my contribution is that the government is always talking of palliative.
Okay.
I don't know, they are saying that they will send 20 trailers to each state.
Yes.
These 20 trailers, is it going to be monthly, yearly, or is continuous process for how long, please?
I don't know. I have no answer to that question.
For example, let me say, for example, in Kano State alone, if you send 20 trailers per month, how many houses can benefit out of that 20 trailers? And how many parts or how many modules each house can get? These people, they are just playing with people's intelligence and playing with people's life for business. There is no need of any palliative in this country. We don't need palliative. The past palliative they give to each state 5 trailers. Believe me, in my state in particular, it is less than 5% people benefited out of that palliative. The rest went to the members of the House of Assembly, the commissioners, the governor, and the rest. No any poor man will get anything out of that. So please, I am advising the government to stop giving any palliative in the name of assisting the masses. We don't need it, please.
Thank you.
This is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Usman from Yobe State. You heard him. Usman has leveled so much allegations that, the stimulus packages that were sent to states were diverted.
Well, palliative is an immediate solution.
Yes.
So we
it's a stopgap.
Yes, we understand the political bridges around all of this. Palliatives being sent to the states, governors receive them and politicize it.
Yeah.
If you're not in their party, you're not getting the palliative. If you're not supporting them, if you have opposed them one way or the other, you're not getting the palliative.
You'll be punished for opposing
them. Again, a governor that will receive a palliative would have also used to cushion some aspect of the state economy or the state suffering. We cannot take that away from it. In as much as it's condemnable, we condemn it. That is outrightly wrong. But it is happening. And unfortunately, we don't like the fact that...
Let's take another caller, comrade. Hello? Your television set, could you please turn down the volume?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Raise your voice a little bit. Thank you for calling. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Stephen. I'm calling from Cross River.
Okay, Steve, go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, I think the problem of Nigeria, this country now, is not the subsidy. What I'm thinking about now is the problem of light, NEPA light in Nigeria.
Okay.
And the problem of this, if you want to the company, you could pay a heavy tax before you can get company started. So they should reduce that one. They should give people free license to build their companies. If they want to build their company, then they should solve the problem of light. Get steady light and they give you free license to build their company. I don't think even that fighting will be the problem.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You are not facing the economic hardship all Nigerians are complaining about?
I'm facing the economic hardship, and I'm saying the thing is that at least if they give free license to people to build their companies, there will be work everywhere.
Okay.
And then and there is such issues of light. There are people that will think of what to do with the light too, that will solve their problem.
Okay, you have made a valid point. You have made a very valid point.
This is a seaport thing. They should allow Calabar seaport to start working, and then Port Harcourt, they should allow their seaport to start working. And it's also, they will carry goods all the way from Calabar to Lagos to go and clear it before you now bring it back. All those things are bad. So they should look at all those things and sort it out.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Stephen from Cross River. I think Stephen is talking about job creation.
Yes, I think, he's talking about the issues do not it cut across goods and services.
Yes.
So he's talking about services.
Services.
Yeah, so all these issues, gradually, it will come to pass. I was saying something. I was going to say that maybe we should just leave the line. Let's make some contributions before we get the lines on.
Okay.
I don't know, because it's interrupting me. So we are seeing gradually where the government is coming from.
Yes.
The president had come to say that the protest is ripe enough. If you look at the suffering Nigerians are going through in the country. So within weeks, he has come up to say that, please, it should be given more time. And that is where we, the youth leaders, we are looking at. Yes, we've made our cry. Yes, we've said the tag of that rally is no to bad governance. So we are going to protest to bad governance. And the president, in his magnanimity, has come up to say that, look, the protest shouldn't hold. The only question I want to ask is, if the protest is not holding, what other steps are they putting in place to have a discussion with this concerned party? I do not like the essence, the aspect where they say we are faceless. Nigerian youths are not faceless.
They are not faceless.
The issues we are discussing are not faceless. They are found in the news and credits of this country. We have youth leaders, and if the protest is telling Nigerian leaders that it is a youth process, till today we are talking, they've not engaged Nigerian youths. It's not out of place, however, engaging state governors and ministers and all that. Of course, this is the cabinet, and the call is for Nigerian nation. So these are the leaders of the nation. After they've discussed, before 1st of August, when we are also thinking now, the president had come up to say that, don't protest. There should be a dialogue. We saw the clear play between NLC, labor leaders, and the federal government. There was lots of dialogues. And today, we are happy that they had a way out of it. Here I want to look at it. So why are they not also putting such measures within we and them?
So let's talk about response. You've raised the issue about response, by government officials.
Yes.
And in the last few days, there has been so much reactions, and government officials are talking differently at different fora. Like the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory said at a press conference the day before yesterday that FCT has no place for demonstration. In Ekiti State, the Commissioner of Police has said that there will be mop-up of tires of all vulcanizers, so that protesters will not have the opportunity to using tires to for bonfires.
Yes.
And there are so many reactions. Let's talk about strategic communication now of the handlers of Mr. President, because Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor to Mr. President on communications and strategy, did come out to accuse, point blank, accuse the presidential candidate of Labour Party.
We condemn
and there
that.
are possible prospects for litigation.
Yes. Let me take on that. So the response from the best response we've received is from the president, whom I've said he needs time. He understands. In fact, in one forum he admitted that he was also a protester.
Yeah.
He also went to say that, look,
I think he led the protest in 2012.
Time should be, he led so many protests in the country.
Even against the military.
Time should be given to his government. He's saying that he's just 1 year plus and all of that. And he's crying that, look, they are putting this in place to achieve what we want to fight for. I think the Adenuga statement was not necessary. When situations like this arise, what is supposed to be done is a plea, because this thing, the cause for the protest is genuine. It's not like NSAS. It's genuine. I know that probably or meaningfully, the problem is, is Nigeria ripe enough for a protest? We've witnessed protests in these countries, and we know how it escalated. Just recently, what happened in Kenya. So these are the fears around the word protest. That's why I kept saying that let's distinctively separate the issues from protest. The issues are genuine.
Okay, let's take this caller at this point. Good afternoon. This is the POLITY.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. How are you, sir?
We're fine in the studios. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Ahmed. I'm calling from Kano.
Go ahead, sir. It's your show.
Yes, sir. Honestly, I'm really enjoying this show.
Okay.
And I've been following it up.
Thank you.
And I wanted to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Yes. What I want to say is that honestly, the president should think over again, because he's saying something different from what the APC governor's chairman saying is different. Because the chairman is saying that he has not seen anything why Nigerians should protest. So my advice to the president is that he should be honest himself.
Okay.
And look at the Nigerians who brought him into the office. Sometimes you have to leave politics aside so that you do the right thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Ahmed from Kano. You are on a line of thought.
Yes,
go
thank
ahead,
you very much.
comrade.
Thank you. All right.
Go ahead, comrade.
Okay, so this is what it should be. You don't become a spokesman of the president and react to a genuine issue and blame someone immediately. Whether it is politicized or not, whether it is coming from the Labour candidate or whatever sector it is coming from, the first point of analysis should be, what are the issues? Why the protest? If the issues for the protest is not contentious, that should be your core projection. I expected him to talk more on the issues at hand and call for a different method of dialogue or approach to solving these issues than protest, than to say, come up to say, you want to accuse us, but these are provocative statements, yes, and people will not take it so lightly. So, but be it as it may, the FCT minister had also come up to say that Abuja is not for protest. They are all still talking about the disadvantages of the protest. We witnessed one,
nobody's talking about the issues.
The issues.
So,
because the protest in contest is overwhelming the issues. Nigerian government, security agencies will not keep their arms open to allow what happened in NSAS happen in this country again. So are we ripe enough? Are we good enough? Is the country positioned enough? The situation in the country, are we good enough, placed enough to allow a protest as good as you want to see this protest, as safe as you want to see this protest being protected? We were doing NSAS protests in Wuse, while in Yanya, shops that were locked up were being burgled and looted, warehouses. So how can we avert protest and have a better way of solving our situation?
Okay. On that note, let's take another caller. Good afternoon. This is the POLITY.
Good afternoon. My name is Femko from Kogi State.
Femko, go ahead with your comments.
My problem with the country is that, number one, we start from the budget. Because the budget is financial planning within a year, for a short period of a year.
Okay.
Like the removing of subsidy, they're supposed to have planned the solution before they even remove it. Secondly, agriculture is very important. This hunger is because of agriculture. And even minor industry supposed to be located in the local areas, in local government areas. All these palliative of a thing, use the money to establish a minor industry in local government. Let the youth have something to be doing. They will not be moving from local area to the cities.
Okay.
Thirdly, we don't know what happened to our refineries. That they cannot find solution to it. Final solution, only one, at least one or two. If it's working, this removing of subsidy will have not been like this. From the protest, if they allow that protest, because people are angry and hunger in this country. If they allow it, it will stop to mayors that their hand will not be able to control, even the security agents.
Yeah.
So, this is my own take.
Thank you so much.
They're supposed to have agriculture.
Okay.
Establish the youth, engage the youth in agricultural ventures.
Okay. Thank you.
In local areas, not the politicians. The problem we have is that we always give politicians money to do things. It will not work. Go to the grassroots. Look for the real farmers. Give them this money. Fertilizer, they will give politicians. They will not be selling it to the real farmers. This is the problem of the country.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanko from Kogi State.
Okay, if I'm given, if the program would lead me to giving solutions,
no, we'll come to solutions.
Yes, I will know that, but we are
they are already providing solutions.
Yes, because I'm already.
Yeah, let me ask you about.
I want to talk about palliative. Sorry, before you say
talk about palliative.
People are misunderstanding palliative. You say build industries. You say build farmlands. These things have time seasons.
They have time seasons. Yeah.
Some of these things we are saying will not have even been materialized. The government tenure will end. So people should not rule away palliative. What I know people anger is the direction of those palliative, the distribution of those palliative don't reach the target. But that you will get a fault federal government for doing palliative is not true.
It's not true.
Look, you're building a house. Your father is building a house. Does not mean that the family will live outside. Outside, they must have an interim home by way of rent, while the building is still going on.
As a stopgap measure.
Yes, a stopgap measure. So it's not, when people should not blame federal government in engaging. It's just an immediate solution to eliminate all these issues too. However, I agree, so much concentration should not be given to it. If the government has also deliberately begin to expand these solutions, we would have achieved something today. One refinery at least would have worked. Exactly. So these are, when we come to solutions, we'll discuss them. But I think that, with all honesty, the federal government, they are not putting deaf ears to the cry of Nigeria.
And that is the reason why. That is the reason why I want to moving to the next question.
Yes.
Day before yesterday, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, convened a meeting with ministers. They met behind closed doors and they looked at the issues. Only yesterday, the president convened medley of meetings. He first of all met with security agencies. He met with APC governors, the governors of the ruling party. He also met with traditional rulers, all with a bid to finding lasting solutions to all these issues. To all these things.
So I think the basic is.
And you talked about
the
leadership.
The basic
demonstrated.
If you look, if all these meetings you mentioned, the youth have not been, the youth leaders have not been invited.
Exactly.
Now the basis is that same word, protest. No government, no good father will sleep while his children are beating drum. Beating drum of anarchy.
Exactly.
No father will sleep. So the issues in the minds of the presidency is that he is trying his best to tackle these issues. However, he also admitted that he understands the yearnings of Nigerians and the youths. But the methods to achieving these problems shouldn't be a protest. Protest, a no to protest, because we will not be able to curtail. We can only know when the protest will start. We can only know where to start it. We can only know how to start it. The process, what to end, how it will end, what will be the result and effect. We are pointing Kenya. Lives were lost. The minister they dismissed is enjoying himself. The president is still there. What solution will it bring? Protest succeed in a well-organized society. Protest should not be generic. We should say we want to do protest against agriculture. So we are facing the Minister of Agriculture. We should say we want to do protest against the Minister of Blue Economy. It's an untapped area in the economy. So we say we are gathering ourselves. We are doing a peaceful protest. Mr. President, you have a mandate on green blue economy. It is not utilized. That is when protest will have its meaning. Diversification of the economy, empowering youth, like one of the callers said. We need a youth commission that will handle all of this. Not giving state chairmen, state governors, our resources to handle for us. It's diversionary. They are diverting those funds. And it is sad. I will say that the state governors in this country, they are not taking their allocations. What are they doing with it at the state level?
Let's take this caller. Comrade, let's take this caller. Good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Joshua, and your guest.
Joshua, regular caller.
Thank you very much.
All right. This issue of protest, the solution that I come across in my mind is if Mr. President can make an announcement of bringing down the fuel price today, this protest will stop. Everybody will go back to square one and start new life to live. I'll give you an example. In my village, we have groundnut oil, we have red oil, but transporting from village to city to sell is a problem. In foodstuff, we have it excess in my village, but here we live Abuja here, we barely feed because we can't transport it from village to Abuja here. If the fuel price is reduced today, all the sector will be okay. Because if the fuel price is the cost of this protest, because there's no food in the market, the little one in the village, transport it to city is a problem. So all the senators and ministers, they are running away because they know the danger coming, but they are not ready to bring the solution to country. They're only telling the whole world the danger ahead of the protest that is coming. I'll give you an example. Senator Ojikalu just run away. He is based in abroad now, giving us the video, advising Nigeria not to come out to protest. What is he doing abroad? Is he not Nigerian indigene? Why running away? They went for research for how many months? 7 weeks. In the situation that Nigeria is in the problem, how the National Assembly go for recession if they're ready to do the good thing?
Thank you.
Back to the Minister of FCT. Given the condition of that the ruler have a meeting on 1st of August, the meeting of the ruler have no power to stop the protest in the Abuja. They can have their meeting in any location that they want, but the protest will continue because we already read a letter to him to give us the Igbo Square. We'll start from there. And we are waiting for your approval. And if he fails to give us approval, we will meet the Igbo Square. Because we are not ready to fight, to tell the world, this is what we are passing through. My mother is dying in the village. I could not send money to her. And he has something to sell, but he could not see someone to buy. So where are we heading to? Bringing Kenya up and down, giving an example of Kenya. Since Kenya issue happened, what was the solution the federal government put in place so that what happened in Kenya will not happen in Nigeria?
Thank you.
So may God help us. We need a good country to live, not to be running away up and down. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Joshua, for your call and your contribution. Comrade Duke, I'll come to you now with this question, but let me remind us that the NSAS protest of 8th October 2020 was as a result of police brutality. This time around, it's as a result of widespread hunger and inflation across the length and breadth of the country. We knew what happened, in the aftermath of the NSAS protest, but this time around, nobody knows the outcome of this planned nationwide protest. As Comrade Duke has said, we are going to move into solutions, and Comrade Duke will remain with me in the studio, and our telephone number will still be open so that you continue to call in so that you can contribute to make the program more interactive and interesting. But that will be after this very, very short break. When we return, we'll continue. Please stay with us.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in up to 5%. Our young people repurpose the Harmony Symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
What we found is that the 10 naira card is not actually sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live from our studios.
Many thanks for watching. And join us again at 9
KAFTAN
p.m.
TV News.
In a meeting considered as the first proper address of the traditional rulers by the Federal Executive Council, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu discussed the plight of the nation. This is one of the very crucial meetings being hosted by the Tinubu-led Federal Executive Council. The main agenda is to discuss the planned nationwide protest by some group of persons of which they term as end bad governance. With the ongoing hardship in the nation and the proposed nationwide protest set to begin on August 1st, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has engaged the traditional rulers and royal fathers in a closed-door meeting to discuss the way forward. After the meeting with President Bola Tinubu, the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enito Ogunwusi, addressed the State House correspondents. He emphasized that while citizens have the right to protest, the traditional institution cannot endorse actions that may result in lawlessness and destruction of property.
Today, it's a new twist and a new spin from the political leadership of our dear country. For the very first time, the traditional rulers were properly engaged in terms of the plans of government and governance. Their achievements so far and where they're having challenges. This is long awaited. We've been waiting for it, but today we are very excited because we are closer to our people and we can bring those feedback back home. Stewardship from the Federal Executive Council directly to the traditional rulers. It has never happened in our nation before, never. This is the first time we are all experiencing it. We have traditional rulers that have been on the throne for 40, 50 years. Today is the very first time we will be addressed properly by the Federal Executive Council. So there is a proper bridge and close of governance from the governed and the people that are in charge of government. So it's a very beautiful take home for us because we don't lock our palaces. We are more exposed to the people that we actually rule over. So it's a different twist and spin from our there president, and I want to use this medium on behalf of all traditional rulers to appreciate him. No leader in Nigeria has ever done it.
You're welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the Polity, and my name is still Maucauley, Hunohashi. It has not changed. And with me in the studio that has joined me in the last 1 hour or so is our comrade Duke Alamboye. He is the National President of National Youth Organization.
Nigeria Youth Organization.
Okay, Nigeria Youth Organization.
Yeah.
All right.
The only youth body that have Nigeria.
Yes, the only, okay, the only body that has Nigeria.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes,
I'm just knowing.
Yeah.
I'm just knowing. Yeah. Well, we've been discussing the economic hardship and in relation with the planned nationwide protest. And, there's countdown now because it's planned for the 1st of August that will run through to 10th of August. That's for 10 days. Now, reports reaching us indicate that the governor of Oyo State, Makinde, has written to the State Assembly that is going on vacation. And you and I also are aware that the National Assembly has gone on a vacation. Does it mean that there's palpable fear, in the leadership of the polity, rather than stay to calm the frayed nerves and find and mitigate whatever impending crisis that this may lead to? They seem to be running away. What's your reaction to that?
Well, they have their reasons. I think some days ago, the House of Representatives, I don't know if it's the full Senate, went on recess.
Yes.
And about 7 weeks or so recess. Well, I don't know their calendar. And I don't want to also believe that they are taking that recess because of this planned protest. They have their calendar, they have their internal schedule. So I wouldn't want to link it. The governor of Oyo State going on vacation, it would have also communicated the reasons of doing that. I don't want to really politicize this.
People are talking about the inauspiciousness of the timing. Yes,
but the timing is also an issue.
It's an issue.
What level of concern is being given on these issues of a planned protest? Nation is about to undergo a planned protest. What are the attitude of the executive, legislators, leaders in various states? That is where my concern is. Whether they are working from home, whether they are working from...
The last said, alleged that there's a senator that is living that is abroad, but he's from abroad calling for calm, asking
that's what young people. What I'm saying that until you hear from him, we don't know his reasons of travel, why he traveled. So I do not really want to join issues with things I don't have facts about.
You don't have facts about.
The National Assembly, they have their timetable. Are they set for this?
Okay, Comrade, we have a caller that wants to talk about that. Good afternoon. This is the Polity. You're on.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Brad, calling from Abuja.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
All right, a quick one. I want to contribute to the discussion on the studio there.
Go ahead, it's your show.
Based on the protest, the upcoming protest, I would say something. You can't beat a child and you expect the child not to cry. Our government is unfortunate that our government is taking us for granted. It's taking the citizens for granted. And this is a period now that they are going on vacation, going on a leave in such a time as this, where the country is in a state of dilemma. The country is in a state of inflation, the hardship everywhere. The things are not moving on well. So this is a time where the president needs to call on emergency press conference to address the public, to address the masses, because this is the right thing to do. Because if the president, because I heard the Minister of Information addressing the public, though that is not what the citizen wants to hear. The citizen wants to hear the voice of the president. The citizen wants to hear the president address them, talk to them. That shows that they have our interest at heart. But right now, I'm seeing that they are taking us for granted. And it's obvious that what is promoting the protest is hardship and hunger. And I don't think there's nothing that can stop it. So that's my little contribution. Thank
you. We're talking about solutions now. Do you think the government, the leadership are taking things for granted? Do you believe so? That's what.
Yeah. Why I would not believe that is because the president, like you rightly said, the onus stops at his desk, and he has come up to communicate to Nigerian youth.
He's demonstrating leadership.
Yes. Secondly, he has opened windows, 150 days waivers for importation. Thirdly, for the purpose of democracy, the people in the rural area, they said democracy is for the people, by the people. Now, he has directed the dividends of democracy through the courts to the people, autonomy. There are grants going on here and there. So I do not want to believe that the government, in quote, federal government, is in nonchalant to the issues at hand. The process, slow or fast, in people's opinion, is what is the issue. The riser effects of goods and services, cost of goods and services to Nigerian citizens, as against no product, no production, is the issue. These issues, Nigerian youths are saying that we need solution. The first thought in our mind is go to the streets and cry. That is what protest is. But the president had come to say Nigerian youth should not protest.
Okay.
While we wait for... Let's take the caller.
Hello, good afternoon. This is the Polity.
Yeah, good afternoon. Shegun calling back from Ogun State.
Okay, go ahead, sir, Shegun.
see, the solution to the problem we have in this country. You see, when President Tinubu came on power, the first statement he made that subsidy is gone was the real cause of this problem. You see, he should stop wasting the Nigerian resources by sending money to state governors. He can go ahead and establish where people can buy food at reduced price, control price, instead of using that money, giving that money to state government to share among the party members. Create where people can buy food at control price, bring in food, let them buy at control price. Then that will now alleviate the problem people are facing immediately, without even having any problem with food. Thank you.
Thank you. Comrade, you earlier mentioned that while you were demonstrating, you were part of those leaders that organized the NSAS demonstration. Yeah. While you were demonstrating here in Abuja, you did mention that looting was going on at the Anya axis. Now with this protest that's going to be, it is gaining traction on social media. People are entertaining fear that it may be hijacked by reprobates. Do you share that view?
We also share that view. But why I'm not going there is because it will also begin to put us in two sides. It's going to put us in two sides. Yes, we've advocated for a protest. We feel that that is the right way government should hear us. But before the protest, the president, the man who want to go on field to say all we want to say, all our issues, had come to say that security reports is out to say that it could be politicized. The Buddhists could take advantage of, people could take advantage of this clean process. So we shouldn't, tomorrow, by the special grace of God, we are going to come up with a statement word.
Okay.
So that is why I'm very careful. We're going to come up with a statement word. But one of the solutions that I'll quickly say on air here is, the callers that I've called are very correct of the issues. The solutions they are also providing is also correct. One of it should be a refinery, at least, if even this is what the present government is going to have as an achievement, that a refinery, one or two out of the 4 refineries, 1 or 2 worked in their tenure. That is going to be a huge achievement that will forever be remembered by Nigerians, because it will totally force down the pressure we are in today. The value of our naira is nothing to write home about when you go to market with it. And that is because everything you think about is dependent on transportation. Transportation translates to buying of fuel, maintenance of vehicular movements within production and market place of sales. So this is going to be our great demand. We're expecting, number 2 solution, we're expecting that from now till 1st of August, the presidency should be able to invite youth leaders in the country to have a clear dialogue with them. This is what will drowse this call for rally. I must tell you that the leadership will come up. The youth leaders, tomorrow, we're going to have our press statement out to tell what Nigerians, our stand is. We do not want to look as though the claim that it is politicized is true. We have our difficulties. We have fashioned out the way we want to solve it. If the man that wants to go and cry for, I said, hold on, don't cry in this manner. We should also hold on.
So it can be advanced.
So that you can also have a way to say, okay, well, they have held on. So we are going to make our voices heard tomorrow by the grace of God. Nigerians will hear our stand on the protest, and then what we want is a peaceful, like the right caller said in Benue or so, a peaceful and coordinated nation. There are lots of lapses in governance. Do you know we have 40-something ministers?
47.
Where is it translating? Let us be sincere. At what level is it translating? So these are the issues we are going to put. And strategically, a dialogue with the presidency would give us more effective solution, because we are going to state out all these issues one after the other.
Okay.
A protest would have brought in awareness, would have brought in you to feel the feelers. But a dialogue is also good. But until from now till 1st of August, we're expecting a proper invitation so that we don't know what to do. But understand whether the protest will hold or not. We also have put in the entities from security reports. We have also checkmated all the statements and advice coming here and there. By tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to have our press release, and the nation will hear our stand on the protest.
Okay. Good afternoon. This is the POLITY from KAFTAN Television Live.
Okay. I'm calling from Benue State.
Benue State, once again. Go ahead, sir.
From Benue State.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The issue that is being discussed now.
Yeah.
I think you can hear me fine.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, now. Let me repeat my name again. My name is St. John Ayope.
Yes.
From Benue State, to be precise.
Yes.
You see what is happening. Nigerians, they have been complaining, and nobody seems to be listening to them. They will go to the forefathers, that is the royal fathers, and complain to them that we are hungry. They will go to government and collect what they want to collect. That, what the meeting they had yesterday, we are told that they were giving 10 million, the traditional leaders. Okay. Now, because we have been pressed to the wall, we want to spring back on them now. And they say we should exercise patience. That all will be well, all will be well, all will be well. When we now will be well, that is the question we want to ask them on the 1st of August now. You see, this announcement that, this pronouncement that the president made on the 29th of last year spoiled everything. I don't think he had done a lot of consultation before coming. See, Buhari was so clever that he decided to dodge the removal of subsidy. Instead of this man to study what was on the ground before coming, say, the area of subsidy is gone. And that is giving birth to everything you are seeing now. Prices of things, fertilizer now is about 50,000 benefit now for you to have now. And you don't. And the man is making promises every day. He has sent us salary, he has sent palliative, he has done this, that. Instead of it to start importing some of those things, the regular start giving to Nigeria to pushing the effort. At the same time, promoting the internal economy. Somebody will count that Nigeria, the Naira is like this. Agriculture will be very good in the next 2 or 3 years that we share. And then they are not eating their food. They are not even getting their water from Nigeria. Everything about them is imported. And somebody will come and tell us now that Abuja is not for demonstration or for strike. On the 1st of August, he will see whether we own Abuja or is the one who owns Abuja.
Okay.
See, this thing started like a joke in Tunisia. Just a small boy kid himself. And the later they spring consumed the whole of Arab district. Nigeria should be very careful. Those in power now should be very careful. It could lead to anything. It could even lead to change of government if they don't know.
Okay.
But we don't pray for that.
Okay. Thank you.
We are praying for peace.
Thank you so much, Mr. John from Otokpo. Now we are winding down, and we have less than 2 minutes to call it a day. Let me ask you, you have earlier alluded to the fact that this planned nationwide protest can be averted only if Mr. President will call you between now and 1st of August.
Of course.
What would you be expected to hear from him if that happens?
Well, we're expected to hear, like I told you, solutions that borders on immediate, mid-term, and long-term. Don't forget, the federal government have only 2 years.
Yes.
The 3rd year is an election
It's
year.
election, yeah.
So within these 2 years, that will also is going to also mortgage his re-election. So within these 2 years at hand, in line with what he's putting in place, personally, in my opinion, I don't think he's doing badly, but the slow pace is an issue. The people he has entrusted leadership role, what are they doing? The stimulation at the local level, is it happening? These are the issues that we should see within the short and medium term, so that it can have a balance. Even if it means to go back to subsidy, that will end this thing, that should be a solution. If it's going to see that within 6, 4, 7 months, a refinery in Nigeria would work with that of Dangote, and we can have a sustainable supply I think these are the things we want to hear from the presidency. We don't want to hear an open ticket, an open check. Oh, things will be fine. Things will be fine. No. Like the NLC insisted, we want to also insist to see, okay, these are the projects at hand within 1 year, within 6 months, within 2 years. This is what the nation will take shape. Then we'll go back and say that, well, he has spoken, he has promised. Let's wait and see. Maybe we'll now postpone the protest to that timeline, as NLC has always done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Duke Alamboye, National President, Nigerian Youth Organization.
Thank you.
You've been so prolific and you're an orator. And whenever we engage you, Nigerians gain a lot from your contributions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for respecting our invitation to come on the POLITY today. We hope when next we invite you, you hit to our invitation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
It's a pleasure.
And I most profoundly thank our numerous callers and our viewers that made this program conversational and interactive. On behalf of our producer, Ruben Okala, and the entire production team in the MCR that made this program possible, I remain yours sincerely, Maucauley Hunohashi, saying bye-bye and see you next time.